San Diego, it's time to fire it up. From the beaches to the ballparks, from the Gaslamp to North County, no one knows America's finest city like he does.
You can't just punt on a Manny Machado prime years.
He's a fourth-generation San Diegan, born and raised in the heart of this community. Passionate, opinionated, and always bringing you the real talk on your teams, your city, and everything in between.
Braden totally knows his stuff. He's ready for the next step. That guy is good.
Live and local, it's the Braden Surprenant Show.
But I think Braden's one of the up-and-coming young stars in the media game in San Diego.
Now, here's your host, Braden Surprenant.
What's up, San Diego? And happy Wednesday to everybody out there in America's finest city. I'm Braden Surprenant. This is the Braden Surprenant Show alongside Frank Marchese. Usually take you up to 2 o'clock, but we preempted today with Padres baseball as Sam Levitt will have the Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show at 12:10. First pitch between the Padres and the Mariners at 1:10 on San Diego's number one sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Yu Darvish going today for the San Diego Padres, going against Brandon Wu of the Seattle Mariners. And that is today's pitching matchup, which I'm sure we'll talk more about later on in the show. We will also get a little San Diego FC talk in today as well at the 11 o'clock hour. Tyler Heaps, San Diego FC sporting director, will come in, or join the show, I should say, call in to the show. And we'll talk to him for a little bit on the, obviously, San Diego FC being the first team and only team so far to clinch a spot in the MLS playoffs already. Brian Wu today, not Brandon Wu. Anyway, so that's kind of how the show's going to lay out. We're going to talk a lot about last night's game. We'll talk a little bit more about the Padres deadline impact. Now that we're almost a full month since the trade deadline, where all the players have been performing and how they've been doing. And a lot of players knowing their role and understanding that, you know, they're just another cog to this machine that is the Padres on a postseason push and really a division push in the month of end of August and the month of all of September. We'll talk about the games that mattered today. We'll talk about the games that mattered last night. And it'll be a quick show today as we will end again at around noon today as Yu Darvish will get ready to battle Brian Wu for the final game in Seattle. Final time the Padres will play the Mariners in the 2025 regular season before they head to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Twins. All right, let's talk about last night. Slightly better than the night before. Padres in both games had leads, squandered both leads, but then last night able to bounce back after squandering what was a 5-0 lead after putting up 5 runs in the first inning. Let's talk about that first inning. What did we say the 4 keys for the Padres to win the division were yesterday, as mentioned by AJ Cassavell? It was going to be an easy schedule. It was the clubhouse being a tight-knit group, obviously. Those are 2 things that they can't control that I think they have already been a part of. I mean, obviously, the way that the new pieces have fit together have been great. The other 2 were using the bullpen, okay, and reality of, you know, picking up the starting, getting good starting pitching. The bullpen was really the 2 together, but it was scoring early and getting good starting pitching. And yesterday for the Padres, they got exactly that early in the game. Started off with a 5-run first inning. 5-run first inning. Great way to start the day. Top of the first, Fernando gets it going with a double. Luis Horizon grounded out. Manny Machado struck out. Ryan O'Hearn worked a walk. Xander Bogaerts got a single. Padres on the board 1-0. Gavin Sheets worked a walk. Ramon Laureano with the bases loaded hit a grand slam, and just like that, the Padres are off to a 5-0 lead to start the game. That was the good news. Okay, we'll get to the bad news in a second. Now, from a pitching standpoint, Dylan Cease, his first couple of innings was great. His first 4 innings, he had shutout ball. I mean, he didn't even allow a hit during those first 4 innings. And then the 5th inning came around, and things started to turn into a little bit of a disaster. And we've seen this out of Cease enough. I mean, it's now August 27th of the 2025 Major League Baseball season. This is who Dylan Cease is in 2025. I don't think it's going to be drastically different from what you see right now. And what you see right now in 2025 is first time through the order, Cease usually pretty good. Second time through the order, Cease not so much. First couple of innings, looks like he's going to throw a no-hitter or a perfect game. After that, it turns into home run derby. It turns into batting practice. So it's interesting to see with Cease. We're going to talk about Cease for a little bit and then move on to the next thing here. But this is what Dylan Cease is in 2025. I think everybody keeps waiting to see if Dylan Cease can turn into 2024 Dylan Cease or 2022 Dylan Cease, and I don't think that's going to be the case. Now, as difficult as it is to watch him pitch, and as disappointing as he has been pitching, he has shown enough bright spots in certain areas of his game that he can still be effective for the Padres to finish the season. He can still help them get to the playoffs. He can still help them potentially win a division. But then you start talking about playoff time. And when you start talking about playoff time, he's kind of the odd man out in terms of the starting rotation. I mean, I don't know what you do with Dylan Cease in the playoffs as a starting pitcher. But let's say you don't win the West, right? You're currently not winning it. You're a game back. And hopefully they could get the job done as we get closer and closer to the final couple of games. They have now played, I think they got like 29 games left, if I'm not mistaken. They got to catch up a game in 29. Yeah, they really got to do 2 because they got to pass the Dodgers. But in 29 games, they're still within striking distance. Okay? But let's say they don't win the division. Okay? And even if they do win the division, they could still get the 3 seed and then have to play in the wild card. So if they play in the wild card, you got 3 games potentially that you need starting pitching for. As of right now, you know it's going to be Nick Pivetta in one of those 3 games. If Yu Darvish continues to pitch the way he's been pitching and continue to improve, he's probably one of those 3 games. And then you look at what Michael King is. Now, Michael King is going to throw a bullpen today, and then he's expected to be back sometime after the Twins series, it sounds like, on the latest update from Kevin Acee. So, if Michael King comes back, which I think will be the case, those are the 3 guys that are getting starts in the wild card round. Now, when you get to the division series, unless you go 3 games in the wild card, in the division series, with the amount of days off, you only need 3 starters. The pitchers that pitch game 1 and game 2 will have enough days off and enough rest time to pitch games 4 and 5. So then you start talking about the divisional series. Again, unless the Padres go 3 games in the wild card, I don't think you're going with Dylan Cease in the division series. I think you're going with Michael King. I think you're going with Nick Pivetta. I'd like my chances more with Yu Darvish over Dylan Cease. So you can make it to the division series without using a guy like Dylan Cease. So now there's this potential that Dylan Cease either is going to be used in the bullpen, which I highly doubt, or when the season is over, his next start might not be until the NLCS when they're going to need a 4th guy in the postseason. Now, what's the case with him potentially getting a start in the postseason? He doesn't necessarily need to go through 6 innings. He really just needs to get through the batting order once, maybe twice. And he's looked really dominant doing that. I mean, you could pair him with like Nestor Cortez. Start the game off with Dylan Cease. Have him face the first time through the order. That's going to get him through the 3rd inning. Have Nestor Cortez come in. Face the next round through the order. He's looked pretty good facing the first time through, aside from the Giants that one day. That's going to get you another 2 to 3 innings, potentially. And then you get to the bullpen. I mean, that's not that bad. So as bad as Dylan Cease has been in 2025, and most of that's been a disappointment level than anything else, he still has an opportunity to help this team out. Whether it be to finish the regular season, which is definitely the case, or a little bit of a piggyback when it comes to October. That's assuming he just doesn't turn things around. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not really counting on him turning things into what he was. And you can see the quote in the daily newsletter from Kevin Acee that Dylan Cease had about where he feels. He feels good right now. He says he's just he's inconsistent, and he can't string together his command and his consistency over the entire stretch of a game. That's obviously a major problem. I think it makes the decision a lot easier when you get to free agency. You obviously don't have to pay the money for a guy like Dylan Cease who will get a big contract from somebody. Somebody's going to take a chance on him. But when talking again about last night, he goes through the first part of the order, fine, looked like his dominant self, then got shaky, then started to walk people, gave up the home run to Randy Arozarena, puts another guy on, then Jason Adam comes in. Jason Adam, you knew that was coming from the sense of they mentioned his scoreless streak on the broadcast, and you're like, all right, here we go. Eugenio Suarez hit one of the pitches foul a quarter mile. He hit it to Vancouver, and then they went with the same pitch again, and this time Suarez hit it to Vancouver again, just more in fair territory. I mean, a 6-run spot in the 5th is not great. But the Padres answered it right back. The 7, 8, 9 spot were great for the Padres again last night. Talks about the length of the lineup. But the Padres overall, they got the win 7-6. We're going to talk more about some takeaways that we got out of last night's game. We'll get Frank's opinion on last night's game, as we will be frank with Frank coming up in just a little bit. A short show today. Tyler Heaps joins us at 11. Should be a fun time on the Braden Surprenant Show, just getting started. This hour of 97 to the Fans brought to you by Nativa Interiors. This Labor Day weekend, two iconic design companies are joining forces for a warehouse sale. Join Nativa Interiors and Hold It Contemporary Home in Miramar for huge discounts on living, dining, bedroom, and outdoor furnishings. Call or text for more details at 619-215-6893. Continue our conversation of last night's game. Padres win at 7-6 of the Seattle Mariners. We talked a lot about Dylan Cease in the last segment. Let's focus a little bit more on the offense in this one. I look at last night's game and you look at the overall contributions. Everybody contributed last night with the exception of Luis Arraez, who was 0 for 5. Fernando 1 for 5 of the runs scored. Machado 2 for 5, which was good to see him get back and going. Ryan O'Hearn 2 for 4 of the runs scored. He's been just on a tear since finally getting put into the Padres lineup. Now in 281 in the season with an 837 OPS. He's got the second highest OPS on the team, behind Ramon Laureano. Ramon Laureano's got the highest OPS on the team. He's batting 7th. Xander Bogaerts 1 for 3 with the runs scored and an RBI. Gavin Sheets 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored and a walk. Laureano 2 for 4, 2 runs scored, the 4 RBIs and the grand slam. He's now hitting 300 with a 914 OPS. He's got the highest batting average on the team and the highest OPS on the team. And he's batting 7th in the lineup. Jake Cronenworth 2 for 4 with an RBI. Freddie Fermin 1 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Freddie Fermin's done a good job with bunting too, by the way. Where's all the callers we get that always say the team's got to bunt more? Do they not like Freddie Fermin? I mean, they got to love this guy. Freddie Fermin bunts more than a kid on a Tuesday night in a Big West baseball game. It looked like he played for like UC Riverside, Cal State Bakersfield, UC Irvine, the bunting league, the small ball league. Freddie Fermin looks like he's a product of that league. Drops down a safety squeeze last night against the Mariners. That was sick. Huh? They do a good job. But anyway, I look at the lineup, and again, here's a couple of things in the lineup. The length of the lineup is great. That's why you got to see guys like Ramon Laureano hit a grand slam and guys passing the baton and working walks and finding their ways on base. And the other thing about the lineup is they answered immediately. It is so imperative for an offense in baseball to, when you give up a big inning defensively or for the pitching side, which happened in the 5th inning. Padres gave up 6 runs in the 5th inning. They answered with 2 back immediately. And that was a great inning for the Padres. And it started, back in the 6th inning with the bottom of the order. Gavin Sheets roped a double against Caleb Ferguson. Ramon Laureano roped a double on a ball that, I thought Sheets had to kind of wait to see where Randy Arozarena was. I know a lot of people were upset that he didn't score on that play. There's still nobody out. Okay, and 2nd and 3rd is fine with nobody out. It's not that big of a deal. I don't think it was a catastrophically bad base running mistake by Gavin Sheets. I think he had to wait a little bit. I can't imagine him really tagging, but it was a deep fly ball. Find a way to get to third base so a sac fly would get him in. I can understand where he was at there, so I'm not overly upset about it. But Gavin Sheets double, Laureano double. Great piece of hitting by Jake Cronenworth last night. Just slicing it right over the third baseman's head to drive in a run that tied the game at 6. That was great to see. Puts the ball in play. Freddie Fermin comes up with nobody out and a couple of runners on. He drops down the sacrifice bunt, scores the run. Padres take a 7-6 lead on Seattle, and then unfortunately you had a fly out and a line out, but you got the runs back. That was the good side of last night's offense. The good parts were the 1st inning where you scored 5 runs and you got to see the length of the lineup in full force. That was number 1. Number 2 of the good thing was the answer after Seattle came all the way back. Now, here's the downside of last night offensively for the Padres. They have to be able to continue to just keep adding on and continue to add pressure to the other team, especially a team like Seattle, who has been kept around in a lot of these games against the Padres, and it's burned them. Have to keep applying pressure to these teams. Yes, I know you hung a crooked number early and got out to a nice lead. We talked about that being a goal if you want to win the division. You've jumped out to that 5-0 lead. Got to be able to add 1 or 2 in the next couple of innings. Can't get complacent. Can't get, satisfied with this lead that you have. But you look at the Padres. I mean, think about the trade deadline pickups. We'll talk more about this later on. Ryan O'Hearn hitting .281 with an .837 OPS. Laureano, 2 for 4 last night. 4 RBIs, hitting .300 with a .914 OPS. Laureano's been fantastic in a Padres uniform. Fantastic. I mean, do you remember when we talked about this before the trade deadline, how the Padres trade deadline pickups during the A.J. Preller era have never really, gotten better? They've kind of stayed the same or gotten worse in the new team. This is the exact opposite this year with O'Hearn and Laureano. I mean, when given the opportunity, these guys have done more than enough. But you look at Laureano since he became a Padre. The guy's been on fire. He's been absolutely on fire. And he totally has bought in to the I'm another piece to this puzzle to try to win a division, to try to win in the playoffs, to try to win a National League pennant, to try to win a World Series. The thing is, though, and here's the question that I have is, I don't know how you continue to put Luis Arraez in the 2 spot. I know this has been a talking point every single day, but again, it just continues. You just continue to watch the same thing over and over again, and you're waiting for a change. How can you have a guy who, by the way, here is Laureano's stats in a Padres uniform. He is 29 for 88. He's hitting .330 with a .379 on base percentage and a .1004 OPS. He's got 4 doubles. He's got 2 triples. He's got 6 home runs. He's got 20 RBIs. This man is hitting 7th in the lineup. I am all in favor of lengthening lineups. I'm all in favor of having good bats down in 7, 8, 9. I don't know if you could put the guy that has been one of your best hitters, who has statistically, over the course of a full season so far in 2025, have the OPS that he has, which is the highest on the team for the season, who has the highest batting average on the team for the season. I don't know how you can continue to put him 7th. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. And everybody else was talking about if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't you want to be better? I mean, there's something about trying to be better. Yes, it's good right now. I don't think moving Laureano up in the lineup is going to make him worse. It's not like he's a rookie. This is different than Jackson Merrill last year. I was an advocate for keeping Jackson Merrill lower in the lineup for as long as possible in the season so he could be comfortable playing at the major league level. The at-bats slightly change. The pitching you get slightly changes, right? All of a sudden, you are now providing the protection instead of being protected. This is different for a guy that's a veteran like Ramon Laureano. And look, him and Ryan O'Hearn have said all the right things. I just want to help the team. I'll do whatever it helps the team. Get this man up in the lineup. Get him higher in the order. I mean, I guess you could make the sense that, he wouldn't have hit the grand slam if he was up earlier in the at-bat. Yeah, but they probably would have already scored some runs. Get this guy higher up in the order. I'm not a huge anti, we can't have more than 3 righties in a row. I'm not. I've said it before. I'll continue to say it. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I really don't. I've talked to a lot of coaches that also don't think it's that big of a deal. If you have the luxury to go lefty righty or righty lefty all the way down the lineup, use it. That's great. But I don't think it's the end all be all. I don't think that outweighs having Laureano bat second. At least try it. I mean, now's the time to try it. And that's basically my biggest advocate for mixing up the lineup is now is the time to try it. Because you have 1 month left. You are very much in a playoff spot. You're still competing with the Dodgers, but you can kind of mix some things up a little bit. I'd like to see him a little bit higher in the order. The guy's been raking. At least give it a chance. You move him up and he sucks for like 3 days. All right, fine. Move him back. I don't think it's going to jack him up. The guy's a veteran. The guy's a Major League Baseball player. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. A lot of games in action today. We'll talk about which ones matter. We'll get Frank's take on last night's game, plus get your phone calls when we come back on the Braden Surprenant Show. 10:34 on a Wednesday morning. Padres baseball is going to start up at 1:10 today. Day game against the Seattle Mariners. Final game of the series in Seattle. It'd be nice to take 2 out of 3 for the San Diego Padres before they head on to Minnesota to take on the Twins, and they come back here to start September against the Baltimore Orioles, and which would be the start of the easiest schedule remaining in Major League Baseball. EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show will start at 12:10. We are taking you up to that point. And in the next segment, we will have Tyler Heaps on, who is the sporting director of San Diego FC, talking about his club that has just clinched a playoff spot over the weekend. So a handful of games left in the regular season for San Diego FC. They are near the top of the supporters club, or supporters, what's it called again? The supporters what, Frank?
Supporter Shield.
Supporters Shield, which would be the best team in all of MLS. Still in contention for that. And they obviously have they have a game this weekend, and we'll talk to him about all of that and the construction of his roster as we continue this conversation about the San Diego Padres. Frank, last night, I like the way the Padres responded. I like the way they started.
Yes.
And I like the way they responded. Good teams find ways to win in those situations. Good teams don't give it up too much, but when you do give it up, they did a great job of battling back and answering immediately.
Blowing the 5-run lead, not great.
Not great.
But to immediately respond, to get punched in the mouth the way they did in the 5th inning, giving up the 6 runs they did in the 5th inning, and then immediately going and responding and getting the 2 runs back and getting the lead back. That is the biggest part of the game. It's not getting out to the 5-run lead. It's not losing it all in one inning. It's being able to get out, to the lead again and being able to recover immediately from that. Also, want to bring us back to April and May, as you've seen it in here. Remember when we were debating on whether or not to sign Michael King or Dylan Cease if you could only get one?
Yes.
I think that option has been pretty well made at this point. I mean, Dylan Cease has, every single year he has been in a Padre uniform, Dylan Cease has regressed statistically. He has gone backwards. Not good, especially for a team that has the playoff aspirations that this team does, and wanting to get and being able to get that deep run into the playoffs. I don't see Dylan Cease being a crucial part of that mix anymore. Last year, you certainly could have made the case, but the division series last year, I'm convinced the division series last year broke him. There's something that has happened with Dylan Cease after that divisional series. He has not been the same after that. We've seen flashes of it, but he has not been able to be a consistent part of it since.
No, he hasn't. And the thing is he's gonna still cost you money in terms of like a large sum of money to keep him back. He made the decision super easy. I mean, It's not even going to be that big of a decision. The only part of the decision that makes it more difficult, I think, is, do we believe that Michael King is more like last year's Michael King than this year's Michael King in terms of injuries? Can you invest money in him? He finally, either was the most innings he ever pitched last season. Like, there are some slight concerns, but I think those are concerns that are not that big of a deal. I don't think they're to a level of like you have to be afraid of potentially signing Michael King.
No, like you said yesterday, King's injuries are fluky. Like, how often do you pitch a nerve rolling over? Like, that's not something that you do on purpose. That's just a thing that happens. This inflamed knee after 1-2 starts, not great, but it's also not a big sign of worry. And King hasn't had that injury history, even going back to the time with the Yankees. So a couple of fluky injuries this year that were going to take some time that baseball people had to learn about in order to be able to help him recover from it. I don't see Michael King being a big risk as far as, am I just going to put money in this guy for me to collect it back in insurance because he's on the IL all season?
I'm curious to see if they actually end up signing Michael King. I think they will. At this point, I was trying to find like the value ranking on Fangraphs for how much money would cost for like a guy like Dylan Cease. I found a value. It has him at like $21 million a year. I mean, even at $21 million a year, I think that would be a steal for most teams in the free agent market when it comes to a starting pitcher. But I don't know if I would spend that on Dylan Cease. I mean, it's just so frustrating to watch. $21 million a year. I mean, forget that.
And you could also, I mean, you can kind of make the argument that with how little Michael King has pitched this year, you can make the argument that, yeah, that $15 million mutual option that they have, that's not really looking too bad right now, because I don't know how much more Michael King is going to get based off of those injuries. And it is, it's also realistic to think if this is a guy who's going to have fluky injuries, we don't know what he's going to do, when he's going to do it, that's going to force him to miss 3 months of the year the way he has this year. So not too many people are going to be willing to do what Boston did with Walker Buehler on a show me contract to see what he can do. I think $15 million to pick up that mutual option, the longer he sits out, I think the more and more that looks better to both sides.
I don't think Michael King's ever going to take that $15 million option.
I don't think so either, but
I don't think it's going to be that intriguing for him either.
If he wants,
I think the Yankees right now would give him $28 million a year.
I don't think any team's going to give him a long-term contract off of this season, though.
I think so.
And that's, I don't.
I think somebody's going to give him a lot of money. I really do. I think the Padres need to think about what their plan might be, because despite maybe some of the injuries, he's going to be very valuable to a lot of teams. And it's not like an elbow, it's not a shoulder, it's he had a fluke injury while sleeping. Somebody's going to give him a lot of money.
No, I get that. I'm not saying that the fluky injury is going to take him out of the money. I'm saying, would you risk a fluky injury can happen at any time, as we saw just now? Would you be willing to risk that on a guy who's shown all year long he can't stay healthy this year, whether it's fluky or not, that maybe it does lead to that $15 million option on kind of a show me basis before he gets a long-term deal?
I don't think his injuries are in that. I think you can blow through that. I'd give him 25. I'd give him $25 to $28 million a year right now.
Right, a fluky injury can happen to anyone at any time, but so can Tommy John can happen to any pitcher at any time.
Well, I mean, there's track records on all that stuff, and you can see baseline guys the way they throw and stuff like that. So
roll an ankle, those things can happen at any time. Step wrong, roll an ankle.
Yeah, done. But that's more reason for teams to give these contracts. I mean, if you're a team that's afraid of Michael King's shoulder nerve impingement, you're not a team that does that. You're not a team that spends a lot of money in the first place. I mean, there's serious risk with all of these guys, and I think I'm not really concerned about Michael King's health, at all.
I'm not either.
But I also don't. There's no way he even thinks about taking the $15 million. We have a lineup. Okay.
Oh, that's right. It is an afternoon game.
What do you think? Oh, wow! Wow!
Arise is hitting second?
No!
Oh, he's off today.
Laureano's hitting second. Wow! How about that?
Well, it's because Arise is off today. Come on, dude.
Good. It's an excuse for him to do it. That's what it is. It was going to take that. When's the last time Arise got a day off? When's the last time Arise got a day off? I'm just saying. When's the last time he got a day off? They never give him the day off.
See,
that's where it starts. This is where it starts.
Immediately, the first thing I'm seeing in the comments for the lineup is not exactly what we wanted, but this is a good start. What do you mean?
Iglesias is in the lineup. That's why.
Oh, for God's sake.
I mean, you got to give him a chance to play every once in a while.
Exactly. If we're saying
and it's a right-handed pitcher, man. It's a right-handed pitcher.
If we're saying not what we wanted because Luis Arise is not in the lineup, come on. Come on.
Today's lineup: Fernando, Laureano, Machado, O'Hearn, Bogarts, Sheets, Iglesias, Cronenworth, Fermin. I'm going to tell you right now, you take Iglesias out and you put in a Rise, that looks like a playoff lineup against the right-hander. Now, you'd have to move some things around, obviously, with the lefties batting back-to-back-to-back. I'm sure the Padres would do. But, I mean, that's pretty damn close to that. Again, this is what happened last year. It happened last year. Right around September, all of a sudden, it was playoff lineup time. They stopped playing the whole, this guy got to dance with the girl you brought. BS. There it is. Laureano batting second. How about that? Again, I said, just try it. Just see what happens. Now's the time to try it. And if he sucks today, then you know what? Move him back down.
Cronenworth at first, Iglesias at second, Sheets in left. O'Hearn is DHing today.
I don't mind that.
No, that's just the position update. That's where everyone is now with the Rise out of the lineup today.
Yeah, if Iglesias plays, to me, he can't be a DH. He has to be in the field.
Yes, 100%.
Have to be in the field. And then you got Merrill coming back soon too.
Yeah, that's going to be.
I think if when Merrill's back, Sheets goes back to the bench.
Yes, 100%.
As good as he has been, he's the guy that you need to have coming off the bench as a pinch hitter.
You know what? I wouldn't mind this. I don't mind this lineup. The only changes I would make for when Merrill comes back is I want Merrill at second, Bogarts and Sheets flip, and obviously
Merrill batting second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Merrill batting second, Bogarts and Sheets flip, and obviously with Laureano instead of Sheets. So I would have Fernando, Merrill, Machado, O'Hearn, Laureano, Bogarts, Cronenworth, Arise, Cronenworth for me. That's what I would do.
Yeah. I like Merrill in the 2 spot. I don't care how many injuries he has had. I think he's scarier than a lot of other players in the 2 spot. Plus, he can run. Also great. And he gets on base. A little bit better. I like that lineup. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Tyler in San Diego, lead things off on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, bud? How are you?
I'm doing well. What do you got for us today?
Well, not much, man. I'm really happy to see that lineup switch. You got a guy that's just destroying the ball right now. Like you talked about OBP, you talked about everything. Probably one of the best acquisitions of free agency. If he loses in at bat, that's a negative. So having him in there is perfect. That's right where he needs to be. Also, I know the issues with Cease. I mean, every time he throws that ball over the plate, it's going to get smashed. He needs to develop a 2-seam. Whether they make him like a 3-inning guy, and maybe I just don't know what you do with King coming back too with all the injuries. I mean, maybe you use them in like a 2-3 inning type of situation. I mean, his slider is so devastating. He just loses it. In that fourth, he just left the ball over the heart of the plate. It was missing with the slider. That's just seems to be his issue. But yeah, that's basically what I was calling about.
Well, I appreciate the phone call, Tyler. Thank you very much. It's 100% right with Dylan Cease. Got to find more command. He really the slider's a wipeout slider. I mean, that's one of the best sliders in the game. The problem is he misses it sometimes. He doesn't have those other pitches. I mean, a 2-seam would be great for him. But again, I think when it comes to playoff time, you're going to see Dylan Cease start a game and make it through the order one time and then to the bullpen.
Yeah, and we already know what the move is going to be as far as when Michael King comes back. Alec Jacob just came up for JP Sears. So when King is ready to go, expected to be this weekend, it'll be for Alec Jacob.
833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Eric in Chula Vista, you're on the Braden Surprenant Show. What's going on, Eric?
Hey, listening in. Yeah, love the Padre talk. And one of the good things about social media is we can always look back, right, and say, hey, back on April 1st, I threw a little tweet in there talking about Luis Ariz having a 3-time batting champion in the 9-hole, which I still think would work. Then he can flip the order. And then Merrill at batting second. But yeah, this whole Luis Ariz talk, I think we talked about yesterday, if whenever he's up at the plate, and there's nobody on. I mean, that would have been Laureano yesterday, right? Of course, in hindsight, but we'll see how this lineup change goes. We'll see how long Mike Schilt wants to see this thing play out, because we all know he likes to switch things up pretty quickly. All right, thanks again.
Yeah, appreciate it, Eric. Yeah, he does like to switch things up. And Arise, I mean, he's been in a little bit of a slump in his last couple of games, last couple of weeks. It seems like. I mean, this is and honestly, in 2025, this is one of his, as great as he is, right? I mean, still hitting 280. But his entire, I mean, this is a down, I would consider a down year for Luis Arise. Would you not? I mean, this is a down year for Luis Arise.
Yeah.
This isn't Luis Arise in his final year in Miami. This isn't, 2023 Luis Arise where he's hitting 354 with an 861 OPS. This isn't even beginning of 2024 season Luis Arise where he was hitting 299 on the year. I mean, this is his lowest OPS season of his career. He's 28 years old. I mean, this would be like the prime of his career. This is the lowest WAR he has ever had in a season. I don't know why this screen just like shuts off every like 30 seconds. It's just so infuriating to deal with. 2025, lowest WAR season for Luis Arise this year. Hits his lowest batting average of his career for a season. I mean, lowest by far. It is his lowest on-base percentage of his career. It's his lowest slugging percentage of his career. It's his lowest OPS of his career. It's his lowest OPS plus of his career. So as much as everybody continues to say, like, wow, he's a 3-time batting champion, this is the worst season he has had in his career offensively across the board. So no, he's not. This is not 3-time batting champion Luis Arise. This is 2025 Luis Arise. That's what this is. Yes, he needs to play every day. No, he does not need a bat number 2. He's got the day off today, which is great. Worst batting average in a season this year. Worst on-base percentage. Worst slug. It's not the worst slug. He actually slugged worse in 2021 for the Marlins. For the Twins. But it is his worst OPS, and it is his worst OPS plus.
Luis Arise's last day off was Monday, May 26th.
May 26th. The last time Louis was off. I mean, with everybody else that has had days off, I'm surprised that his day. And I know he likes to play every day and likes to post every day and everything like that. But, I mean, you would think. And then the other thing, too, is they're not having him sit against the lefty. They're having him sit against a righty right now. I feel like you could pick your spots with giving guys days off a lot. But again, you look at, are you hate watching the Yankees right now? That was the most heavy sigh you have had while watching sports teams, and it's
Aaron Judge. That's why.
Not even. It's like your rival team.
It's Aaron Judge.
Okay, Aaron Judge hits a home run. Who cares?
Yeah, you're about to, folks, with the MLB app, you're about to get an Aaron Judge push notification from the MLB app. Just know it's coming.
Okay. Arise has seen his batting average in the month of August go from 297 to 287. In the month of August, Arise is hitting 235 with a 583 OPS. Why is that guy batting second? I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but I continue to look at numbers. I continue to watch eye test, right? Everybody's like, oh, look, eye test. I just don't see it. In the month of August, Arise, 24 for 102. He's got 9 doubles, 4 runs scored, 7 RBIs, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, 235 average with a 583 OPS. I mean, that's anybody else, and people are freaking out, going, why is this guy playing in the 2 spot? I don't understand. Today's got the day off, which is great. Good for he needs a day off. He has needed a day off.
This is his second day off since coming off the IL in April.
He's only had 2 days off?
Yeah, just May 26th and now today.
That's insane.
since coming off the IL.
Surprised he hasn't had more days off. But again, he's hitting 235 in the month of August. Not great, Bob. Not great. Since August 11th, he's hitting a $194. I would say he's probably slumping. His last 15 games played, he's hitting a $194 with a 502 OPS. Still has 6 doubles. He has scored 1 run. He has driven in 4. I'm just, he gets a day off today. He needs a day off. He has needed a day off. He's had a couple multi-hit games, but yeah, mostly singles, and his average continues to plummet. Another 0 for 5 day last night. Give him a rest day. Hopefully he's ready to go against his former team, Minnesota, coming up next week. Brad, Kevin, Tom, Mike, we're going to get to you when we come back. Hour number 2 of the Braden Surprenant Show after a conversation with Tyler Heaps. 11 o'clock hour on the Braden Surprenant Show, live and local each and every day from 10 to 2 on San Diego's #1 sports station 97.3 The Fan. We're only going to take you to the next hour as the Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show will get underway at 12:10. Padres baseball at 1:10 as the Padres will take on the Mariners for the final day of the season. Final game of 2025 against the Seattle Mariners, trying to win a series today before they head on to Minnesota. As we talked a lot of Padres baseball in the first hour, we now transition to a team that has already clinched a playoff spot here in San Diego. That is San Diego FC, had the good victory over the weekend to give themselves a playoff spot in the MLS playoffs. And joining us right now is the one that helped put this team together. He is the San Diego FC sporting director. His name is Tyler Heaps. He joins me on the Braden Surprenant Show. Tyler, what's going on, man?
Hey, how are you, man? Thanks for having me, and looking forward to catching up about San Diego.
Yeah, it's great to talk about a team that has made the playoffs now officially, and obviously there's more goals that you guys want to achieve. But for a sporting director, and for American terms, a general manager of this team that put so many years into preparation to get the roster that you have currently. What was it like seeing them clinch a playoff spot and be the first team to do it as an expansion team, this season?
Yeah, it's a really proud moment, having been there as probably employee number one on the sporting side and getting to hire a lot of really, really smart, intelligent people that have had a huge hand in why we've had so much success. And then being able to sign essentially every single player has been it's been a whirlwind. It's been a lot of ups and downs in that process. Everything hasn't gone perfect this year, but the fact is we set out at the beginning of the season. We wanted to put ourselves in a position to compete for playoffs. We really had no idea how it was going to go. We thought we had good players. We thought we had a good staff, but until you get behind the walls and start working every single day, I think we found out very quickly that we had that, but we also had total buy-in from the group. So it's a really proud moment. I think we were disappointed on the day not to win the game. Unfortunately, we only drew the game. But I think that's now the intention, and that's the standards of the locker room. I think we want to go after more, and we want to try to take it game by game, but we put ourselves in a real position to go after it all.
We're talking with San Diego FC sporting director Tyler Heaps, who joins us on the Braden Surprenant Show. And, Tyler, it's one of those moments where you want to be, proud of what you guys have accomplished, but obviously a lot bigger goals at hand for you guys in the club and head coach Mike Uvaris and, the way that, the rest of the season plays out. How are you able to, and what does it mean to like kind of wanting to push for more, but at the same time being able to enjoy a lot of the, accolades that you guys have achieved along the way?
Yeah, it's always about that balance in sports. I think you need to celebrate the wins because those are really important moments for your culture and for your group. And so we've been trying to make sure that that's apparent. Again, we had a very disappointed locker room whenever they came off the field because I do think we did enough to win the game, but so happens in all sports, but especially soccer. You don't always win whenever you've got more of the ball and create more chances. And so just trying to, again, they'll go back to the bigger picture, trying to make sure that the group really understands what they've been able to do. It's great that we get these fans showing up at Snapdragon. And they're included in the success that we've had so far too. So it's always about finding the balance, and it's now finding the balance the other way too, is making sure that we're not cocky and don't come across as arrogant, but that we go into each game and ensure that we still need to put in the work and still have to do all the little details that we've been doing all season that got us to this point. And I think if we do that, we give ourselves the best chances. And whether that's we finish with a home playoff game or whether we finish at the top of the West or whether we finish at the top of the entire league, that's still to be determined. But I do think it's that work ethic and just showing up every single day and making sure we're staying humble as a group to be able to achieve those things.
You guys have had a decent amount of San Diegans on this team and some local products and, some from players that are from the Southern California area represent San Diego FC. And when you're trying to build a roster, and we've had some of these guys on our show as well, is there any little importance to having a local flair to it? Obviously, you'd probably like to have it if you can, but I know you're trying to build the best roster as possible. But what does it mean to have some local players represent San Diego FC on the team?
Well, we're very fortunate. We're fortunate that this area of the country has produced a lot of really good players. So whenever we were checking our list, it was just so happened that some of those players showed up because of the quality that they've had and because they've grown up in this football-rich environment in Baja California. So I think we're fortunate because of that. We always said, and we still say this, that we want to be a reflection of this community, and that will be apparent, especially when we get this academy group fully up and running and these guys start to get older and older and start to be integrated in the first team. But we knew we needed to also take it from the beginning and make sure we got people that get this chance to play for San Diego. Growing up, they didn't have that opportunity, and so the fact is now we can provide first team men's football to them. And there were a lot of conversations that went on early with Luca De La Torre, for example, who left at 14 years old. And so the fact is we could bring him back, and he believed in the project from the beginning, and this project means more to him because he grew up in this region and his parents are still here and now get to see him play at home every single week. So I think it's a combination of both, but what I can say is that we're fortunate. We're fortunate that this community continues to produce really good footballers, and now we get to choose from them.
We're talking with San Diego FC sporting director Tyler Heaps on the Braden Surprenant Show. Tyler, we just had a little bit of a transfer window over the last handful of weeks or so. I know you got multiple of those during the year. MLS schedule doesn't coincide with a lot of the major leagues throughout the world. How difficult is it for you and your staff to navigate, players on loan, navigate international periods? I mean, there's a lot of moving parts to soccer and football in the world that you always have to be cognizant of. How do you guys navigate that and keep everything in track?
Yeah, it's not easy, especially in this league. I would be the first to say, having worked in Europe and having that privilege, that this is probably the most complex league to work in the world. You add the salary cap, you add the roster mechanisms of how you can acquire players, you add the senior roster number of spots compared to the supplemental and the academy, and things that you guys don't need to know, but are things that we need to pay a close attention every single day, to that matter. And that dictated how we approach this transfer window. We brought in a lot of younger players because we don't have that academy fully up and running yet, and there's huge roster benefit of having those players on your team. And so it's a constant evolution in terms of how we think and why we're thinking. Again, it's a lot better to do now than it was 8 months ago. 8 months ago, we had a whiteboard and we're erasing names and writing names back up there. Now it's real. And so that also comes with difficult conversations with players about whether that their future is not here or there's another opportunity for them within the league or outside of the league. And it's part of the job. But what we have done, I think, is we've created a really good culture here. We've got a lot of really good staff members that are constantly tapping me on the shoulder and saying, hey, watch out for this or watch out for that, or have we thought about this? And those are the conversations, and that's the environment that we're trying to create and make sure that we're making decisions that are not only successful for now, but also for the future, because we need to make this thing sustainable.
From your perspective, Tyler, as somebody that, employee number one, you mentioned, and putting this team together and seeing it go through its first season, but also seeing professional soccer, at the MLS level here in San Diego for the first time. What has been your reaction to how the city has embraced the team, what the atmosphere is like? And, when you were putting this team together and doing all the hard work before you got to see games, could you imagine that you could be in this situation that you're currently in right now, at the top of the standings, having full forced crowds and basically the summer that San Diego FC has had?
It's truly remarkable. And to say, I can't sit here and say I thought this was going to happen. Especially with the fan support. I grew up in Minnesota, and I was in Minnesota. I was 21 years old whenever they got announced the MLS franchise there. And having been a part of that soccer community for so long, that was really special for me. So I feel like I have an indirect way of realizing what that meant to this community. And this community has much deeper roots in terms of soccer or football than Minnesota did at that time. So to see them come and show up day in and day out, whether we win or lose or draw, it's been remarkable going on the road and seeing these guys traveling and spending their hard-earned money to come and watch us play on the road every single week. These fans were showing up when it was just me. We had no players. And so I was going and doing some of these fan events. And the fact is they believed in the project and what I was saying at those moments. So to see some of those same faces in the crowd now, it's been truly remarkable. And to your point, you add on the success on top of that. And it has been a lot of pinch me moments this year. I think it'll probably be another one this weekend whenever we go away to LAFC. I mean, talk about what a big game. You've got Hyman's son's home debut. It's 2 hours up the road. It's a team that historically has done really well. We're chasing their expansion record. There are so many different storylines that go into this. And again, it just goes back to taking it day by day. I think the culture and the environment that we've created has really allowed us to be in this situation, and that's what's going to continue to get us results. And again, I could have never predicted that all this stuff would have happened, though. And if you would have given me a contract at the beginning of the season and said, "Hey, sign here and you'll be in this moment," I think we all would have bitten people's hands off to sign that paper.
I got a couple more things for you, Tyler. Really appreciate the time. San Diego FC Sporting Director Tyler Heaps joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. For you, being in San Diego now, now part of this community, aside from soccer and being the sporting director and obviously putting your heart and soul into San Diego FC, what's your favorite part about being in San Diego?
I feel like I have to say the weather. Again, I mentioned I grew up in Minnesota. I've struggled through many, many winters, too many, and I went from Minnesota to Chicago, and so I got to experience that type of cold on a lake. And then I was fortunate enough that I ended up in Monaco, and then now I've been here. But I think it's the weather and the food, and I also think the diversity. Not the diversity in the sense of the city, but the different pockets of the city. I think there's so many special places here, whether it's you're up in North County or you're in Chula Vista or you're in North Park or South Park. I think I've really enjoyed just going out and embracing that. I enjoy the outdoors, so I've tried to find new running routes every single weekend. That's my match day ritual. I go out and try to run on a trail or something on match days. And so you combine all that stuff together. I mean, what a special place. It's no reason why people don't leave whenever they move here to begin with. So again, I'm fortunate this sport has been able to bring me to a lot of special places, and this is definitely one of them. And what a project and what a city to be a part of.
I have to ask this, Tyler. It came out in the news. I don't, it's a rumor that's out there, and with San Diego and the rival with LA, there seemed to be some report that LAFC promised a certain amount of tickets discounted and then took back the amount of tickets that they wanted to give San Diego FC as potential visiting fans coming up over the weekend. Sounded like San Diego FC made good on it for their fans. I don't know if any of that is something you want to speak of, but I have to ask about if that was anything that came down going into this next game.
I've heard these rumblings as well. What I can say is that the company and the ownership group has done a fantastic job to be able to ensure that our fans can be there. It is a special advantage for us. I still remember that opening game away to Galaxy, walking out and seeing that whole section filled. I think it's going to be another one of those moments. And again, it's another appreciation for what this community means to us, and we mean to them. So it's a part of the rivalry. I think they probably didn't expect whenever they made that promise that they would sign a world superstar, and this would be his first home game. So I understand that there's always context involved in it. But what I can confidently say is that we'll have 600 plus San Diego fans up there at BMO Stadium, and hopefully we can turn it into our place and give them something to cheer about.
Tyler, I appreciate the time, man, and continue the great work. You guys are doing a great job. It's fun to watch and see you guys represent our city as well as you guys have done. Look forward to talking to you again.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, and looking forward to joining in the future.
Tyler Heaps, San Diego FC Sporting Director, joining us on the Braden Surprenant Show. How to get some of that info in on the tickets thing. We saw that report from San Diego Punto Football about LAFC, allegedly breaking a ticket agreement with San Diego FC, and he answered that the right way. He answered that how he should have answered it. Sounds like San Diego FC is taking care of whatever the misunderstanding might have been, and we should have a good representation of San Diego FC fans up there this weekend.
Yeah, so for those of you who haven't heard, the rumor was that every team has their visiting section. It's up in the top corner at Snapdragon. You see them all the time up there. LAFC apparently sectioned off 600 seats, 600 tickets for San Diego FC fans to purchase. After they signed Son, who's coming over from Tottenham after winning the Europa League last season, apparently they cut it back to 250 is what the rumor is. And then when San Diego fans or whoever contacted them about it made a ruckus about it, they said, okay, we'll give it to you for 600. We'll give you the 600, but we're going to jack the price up on you now because this world-class superstar player is coming here. It is going to be his home debut. Things have changed a little bit. And again, reportedly, San Diego FC covered the difference. So the fans that were going to go are able to go now at the same price that they were. So that's at least the rumor and the reports, but it sounds like the 600 people are still going to be going,
which is good news for San Diego FC fans as they try to track down LAFC's expansion record.
Yes,
for the first season of play. We went a little long with Tyler Heaps, but when we come back, Kevin, Tom, we're going to get to your phone calls. We'll talk more Padres baseball as we get you ready for Padres baseball. Ecowater SoCal Padres pregame show will be on after us today. Short show as we continue on the Braden Surprenant Show. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97 through the Fan. Frank is incensed with the Yankees game right now. I've never seen a Mets fan more angered at the Nationals than right now.
I thought it was another one.
No, it's a replay.
Okay.
Are you having PTSD? Are you okay? Are you going to make it through the end of the show?
This is just, it's absurd.
What's
at this point.
What's absurd is this level of emotion for a team that's not even in your league. You have to worry about these guys anymore. Plus, they're going to screw up in the playoffs anyway.
Well, okay.
If they
fair,
make the playoffs.
Fair, but like, come on. Can you at least show a little bit of pride that you're playing on a Major League ball field instead of giving up just dinger after dinger after dinger?
Hey, don't bring Dinger into this.
Okay. Dinger, we love you.
We love Dinger.
When the Rockies play next year, we want to try to get Dinger on the show. I'm
In
sure
the studio.
I'm sure that would be an incredible interview. Just nothing but silence because mascots don't talk, as we famously know. Dinger, we love you.
Radio charades.
Yes.
We'll just film him the whole time. People think we'll have dead air, but YouTube will have a blast watching the Triceratops dance around. They did Dinger dirty the other day by saying the Rockies were eliminated, and they had a picture of Dinger with like his head, like Surrender Cobra.
That's the worst.
Come on, man.
Like, if of everyone,
get Dinger out of this. It's not his fault. His team sucks.
Put the owner on that picture.
I agree. It's BS, man. Throwing Dinger out like that.
Oh, what do you know? Aaron Judge kept it in the ballpark. Way to go, Nationals.
It's the third inning and it's 9-0. Are you going to be able to make it to the show?
Yeah, we've only got 40 minutes left in it.
God. Dinger pointing out Frank's legs. Okay. Foul on Go Aztecs.
My gosh.
Foul.
You guys.
Foul.
He draws the foul.
It's another one coming in.
That's a foul.
He draws the foul.
We're getting close to the Eric Hosmer cameo.
Keep on coming, guys. We just need 3 more. Just 3 more. Come on. All of your super chats go into all of your super chats go into the Eric Hosmer
fund
cameo fund.
Cameo fund. I showed you the one that they got for my friend.
Yes,
right? I
yes,
mean
you
that
did.
was hilarious. That was so funny. All right, media rights deal, Frank.
Yes, I saw
the
that.
Aztecs for the Pac-12. Remember, the P stands for what?
Power.
Power. It's a power conference.
The Power Act 12.
Although Mid-Major Madness account on social media said, no, I can't say this is a power conference.
I'm sorry. Wrong.
P stands for power. Okay, so they signed on a deal with the CW, correct?
Yes.
What do we got on that? Did they have numbers on that? Are we going to actually know how much month they're going to make? I didn't see it on the other deal.
All right, let's see. A new look at the Power Act 12's extended partnership with the CW.
Did you say the Power Act?
Yes. Because we really gotta home it in that the P stands for power.
P stands for power.
The Power Act 12 has extended its media rights partnership with the CW network through the 2030-31 season, the conference announced on Wednesday. The agreement gives the new look Power Act 12 a consistent presence on the CW with 13 regular season football games, 35 men's basketball games, and 15 women's basketball games each season. Power Act 12 Enterprise will produce the broadcasts totaling 66 annual events on the network. The deal positions the CW alongside with CBS as the long-term national broadcasters for the Power Act 12, which will relaunch in 2026. Financial terms not disclosed.
If they were good, they would be in there. All right, CW. Sounds good. They go on to highlight on the because it pulls up the pack. If you look at the Aztecs tweet that they put out on it, it takes you to the Pac-12 website about all the numbers that they've gotten on the CW. Pac-12 football viewership highlights on the CW.
Cool.
Yeah. CW was the lone matchup between Washington State and Oregon State in Corvallis. 695,000 people watched it. Most watched football game on the CW. By the way, all the other games were having 1 million people watching.
I can't wait for Texas State, Utah State to be the CW primetime game of the week.
Remember, they're doing 13 football games, right?
Yes.
Which means they're going to do
effectively one a week.
One a week. Which means it's going to be the Washington State, Oregon State, or Boise State game that week.
No, you're not wrong.
Does everybody have to be on there at least once?
I would at least hope so. You're gonna
I
get
don't think they're putting Utah State, Fresno State on the CW.
national audience is going to learn a lot more about Gonzaga come basketball season.
Oh, yeah, they'll just have every Gonzaga game on there. Well, CBS still wants the Gonzaga games.
That's
You think Texas State, Colorado State makes the CW on football?
fighting for scraps.
I mean, come on. I need to know. I gotta know like how much money they're getting per school.
But financial deals were not disclosed.
Wasn't that the same as the CBS deal?
It
Didn't they sign a
was,
CBS
funny
deal?
enough.
Yeah, we have no idea how much the Pac-12 is making. We have no idea. All the other deals that you've seen from actual power conferences have disclosed like, oh, each school's going to get $50 million. No financial terms are been announced. Come on. What are we doing?
Listen, man.
What are we doing? Why are we putting lipstick on a pig here? What are
Power
we doing?
5, man. Get used to saying it again. Power
Power
5.
Act Conference. I
Power
like the
5.
Power Act Conference. Power Act Conference.
P stands for power, baby.
P does not stand for power. P stands for pathetic at this point in time. It's the pathetic athletic conference right now. I mean, what? What are we doing?
Be nice to the new conference. Stop it.
It's not the Pac-12. Just because Washington State and Oregon State are there does not make it a power conference.
Be nice to the new conference.
Where's the mid-major madness tweet? This is where I got to pull this up.
This is,
and you tell me if you disagree with this.
Well,
and if you don't follow, and you should follow mid-major madness because it's college basketball.
Follow mid-major madness,
and it's mid-majors, and that's exactly what San Diego State is.
That's what Hofstra is as well.
Yeah.
By the way, this is the part where Washington, with the bases loaded and 2 outs, are feigning an injury to their pitcher to get a breather as Jason Dominguez gets ready to set a grand slam off.
Can you stop hate watching the Yankees? Okay.
I'm hate watching the Nationals at this point. The fact
first
that
time
the
you've ever
Yankees
hated the Nationals.
the fact that the Yankees are playing is just an added bonus of torture.
Okay. All right. This is what Mid-Major Madness tweeted out. This is great. Quote. So he takes the Rocco Miller tweet of the Pac-12 has extended its partnership with the CW. Broadcast details beginning 2026 and 2027. Yay. Mid-Major Madness goes, I've made the executive decision that this is a mid-major conference. Wow, really stepping on a limb right there. San Diego State and Gonzaga is like the top of the West Coast Conference or top of the current Mountain West.
Can we show
Can
some
you
love?
argue against that?
Can we show some love for the... Yeah, I can argue against it.
What
P stands for power, man.
Oh, God.
It doesn't stand for Pacific like everyone says and thinks and has been told all these years. It's
Pathetic.
a conspiracy. It stands for power. P stands for power.
Today's show is presented by the letter P. Thanks, Sesame Street. All right. Well, somebody needs to get us back on track. Brandon in Carlsbad, get us back on track, buddy. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, fellas? Well, you know, we got a big weekend bubbling up in front of us, and you got a lot of college going on. Yeah, I believe that pathetic is what that conference stands for. But you know, we'll just keep it right there. Good on them. But no, I hope it does well. You know, everyone's always going to be competing with the SEC. It sets the standard. It is what it is. And look at, man, like you, Braden, I'm a true San Diego through and through. It's in the blood. 3rd generation. You said you're 4th generation, so that means you came on wagon wheel, man. That's amazing. Now, on the flip side of all this, let's go Padres. We tried to give that one up, but hey, look, we hung on. I think we're starting to see a little exposure of Luis Ariz. I think that the chat and a lot of the shows are getting to him. They're starting to hear that maybe you shouldn't be number 2. Case in point, we need to play definitely more sheets. We definitely have the lineup to fill that in. And yeah, guess what, guys? You never suspect. I'm fired up. Let's go Padres. Kill them off at 1 o'clock. Guillotine. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, Brandon. We have that song Guillotine in the rotation. We should just play it before Brandon shows up every time. We got that. So I put it in there. 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Zoner with the SEC chant going. I love anytime we bring up college football, high school football, everybody's individual schools or conferences, they start popping off about it's great. Tom in Carlsbad, you're on the Braden Surprenant show. What's going on, Tom?
I'm in Oceanside if this is me.
That is you. I guess you're in Oceanside. Tom in Oceanside. All right, here we go.
Hey, I agree with that guy. You need to keep Sheets in the lineup. Arise can fit more. I've been a big fan of him, but if he plays, he needs to bat ninth. But Sheets should be playing first base or switching with O'Hearn. It would protect Tatis in the lineup, and we need the slug. We need home runs.
Yeah, definitely need some slug. Tom, appreciate the phone call. Tom in Oceanside. Again, here's the deal. If you call in for the first time, we tag your name on there and the city you're calling from. That's probably who you're going to be. Unless you specifically say where you're calling from. So if you call in for the first time and you happen to be driving around in like San Carlos or something like that, and you don't want to be associated with San Carlos, not, I'm just using it as an example. Just say where you're from. Make it easier. We'll help you pass it along faster. Let's get out to Kevin in Chula Vista. Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, my man up in Carlsbad, Mr. Brandon's right on about the PAC, whatever you want to call it, conference. And, I wasn't going to waste time on that, but before I want to get to the Padres, so hang in there with me. Braden, do we have anybody at San Diego State that would be willing to come on the air and give us some bottom line figures about what the net effect is income wise with all of this new kabuki dance that they've done? And what did they really gain versus what did they have as they exit the Mountain West? What's the net effect of this all going to be? That's number one. Number two, the only reason why this conference is being called the Pac-12 is because you've got Washington State and Oregon State who still have a big butt hurt about getting kicked out of the power. And so we're stuck with this idiocy of identification of something that doesn't exist anymore, which insults the rest of the fandom and those who follow college football, because we all know it's a fraud. Now, getting back over the Padres real quick, I agree with Frank on Michael King. I'm in a show me state of mind with Mike. He's had a great start last year, but what troubles me greatly is the amount of time that he missed this year and has yet to show that he can come back and be the Michael King of old. And that's what we need to see before we start talking about mega contracts. It's vitally important that this guy get back on the mound, get all that boo-boos out of the way, and show that he can do what he did. So far, we haven't seen that. That's the bottom line. Last thing, today, very important, keep an eye on Fernando. This change at number 2, I am hoping has a positive net effect on Fernando and the better pitches I'm hoping that he gets to see. Let's hope that Fernando gets some better pitches now, and then he can start driving the ball like we all expect him to. This may take a game or two, but let's keep an eye on Fernando as well and what happens with the number 2 slot.
Kevin, appreciate the phone call, man. We got to take a quick break. Again, a lot of things to unpack there, and we had to get the conference update, the media update as we could. But I'm curious to see how his lineup plays today. If they score a lot of runs, is the Rise going back in the 2 spot? I don't know. Michael King's going to be on his way very quickly, too, from a pitching standpoint. All right, one more segment to go. We'll get you a preview of today's game, talk about the other games to pay attention to today as we wrap up the Braden Surprenant show on a Wednesday. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Baseball talk on the fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday on CBS and Paramount Plus all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. I have, so in my buddy's group text, I have a Washington State Cougar in there, who you've met. And I have multiple Aztecs in there. There's two of them. There's a house divided on whether or not the Pac-12 is a power conference or not.
It's
Obviously.
not. It's not divided. It stands. It
The
stands
Power
on
Act.
power.
Power Act Conference. Power Act Conference. It's all right, man. They're going to be like included with everybody else. I'm sure. It's going to be great.
For those of you who don't get the bid and maybe are hearing this for the first time, no, the Pac-12 is not a power conference. But
WAC
it's-
3.0, as
but
Jake
it's-
Waters said.
it's funny.
It
It's
is funny.
to say that they're a power conference, so we keep that bid alive.
The
for
bit's
those of you
great.
maybe hearing it for the first time.
The bit's great. I do enjoy the bit. Now, college basketball, they're going to be fine.
Oh yeah,
They're going to be
100%.
fine in college basketball. They got the best of the Mountain West in college basketball, and they added Gonzaga. I mean, they're going to be fine in college basketball. And college baseball is not bad, too. Adding Dallas Baptist is pretty money. It's great for the baseball conference, but they needed teams. I mean, they didn't have any teams. They still really don't have any teams. But that being said, it's not a power conference. I want to know why there has been no release of money in terms of the contracts, like how much money the schools are getting.
Because your head would be blown off by how amazingly goodly the money is.
How much better it is in the ACC and the Big
Yes.
12 and the Big
Yeah.
10 and the
They
SEC.
don't want you to be. They don't want you to get jealous. They don't want the big conferences to get jealous.
Okay, so I thought.
That's why.
I know our resident SEC fan Zonder is shaking in his boots about the new Pac-12. Is he really SEC though? He's an Oklahoma fan. I don't think
No,
he's
you're-
earned the
you're
SEC
big-
thing yet.
I'm sorry. As a guy who
He's still Big
does,
12, dude.
as a guy who does root for Oklahoma, you're Big 12. I'm sorry.
You root for Oklahoma too?
I do root for Oklahoma. Yeah.
That's gross.
What am I going to root for Texas? That'd be even
What
worse.
teams do you root for? Do you have a list of teams? Sam, wait your turn, buddy.
Why is Sam licking the window?
I don't.
What
That's
is
so
that?
gross.
What
So
was he just
gross.
doing?
You guys
folks?
don't see the same Sam that we see.
No, you don't. We see a goober.
He was like licking the window. What is he? Wait your turn, buddy. Guy's chomping at the bit to get on the. If we throw a pen at him, it just hit the
Yeah,
glass.
have to go
you don't want
through the glass.
Go
yeah.
Aztecs. Don't disturb the animals in the glass.
Yeah, exactly. Don't knock on the glass.
Don't tap the glass. I guess we're the people in the tank here. But anyway.
Animals are skittish. Do
Yes.
not tap on glass.
Window licker, Taylor said. Those must be his handprints on that disgusting window.
I guarantee you it is.
Ah.
I promise you it is.
Sam is extra fired up today. And there's another home run. Is
Oh,
it? Is it?
Oh,
It's
for
gone.
God's
Everybody gets a home run for the Yankees today. You get a home
Seriously,
run.
it's
You
been
get a
like
home run.
6 of
You
them
get a
have
home
one.
run. Austin Wells. Homer.
It's been Grisham, Rice. The top 4 in the lineup have all hit one. Bellinger included. Wells has got one now. I swear, I think somebody at the bottom of the order got. They had to have hit like 6 homers today, all by different people.
It's 11-0. In the third inning, the Nationals threw 77 pitches just in the third inning. It's 11-0 Yankees. They have 11 runs on 12 hits. The Nationals are getting shut out, and also, by the way, getting no hit.
Can you show like a modicum of pride for what you do?
I'm telling you, dude.
Is that a thing that's
You're
allowed?
talking about the Nationals post deadline. You're talking about the Nationals. All right, let's take a look at this summary here and see who's hit some home runs today. Wow, Grisham's got 1.
Yeah, everyone's got 1.
Judge has 1. Bellinger has 1. McMahon's got 1.
So
Rice has 1. Wells has 1.
6 guys now. 6 different Yankees.
Yes. Grisham hit 1 in the bottom of the first. Judge hit 1 in the bottom of the third. Bellinger hit 1 in the bottom of the third. Mingus hit a double. Ryan McMahon has a home run. Ben Rice has a home run. Austin Wells has a home run. That's amazing. The Yankees win.
This guy is still pitching.
Brother, they had 77 pitches last inning. What part of that did you not understand?
No, it's not that. It's the guy who got shelled multiple times and had the trainer go out to see if he was okay. Is still going.
Ogasawara?
Yes.
So
it's the same guy.
Cavalli went 2 1/3, 8 runs, 7 earned on 8 hits, a walk, 4 strikeouts, 4 bombs. Osagawa has only pitched 2/3 of an inning. He has allowed 3 earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 2 of those 4 hits have left the building. Wow. I mean, that's a lot of work, Frank. It only counts as 1 win. You don't get more than just 1 for this.
I understand that.
Maybe they're going to burn themselves out before the weekend. Hey, it's possible. I just hope that as Go Aztecs says, I just hope the Twins, Rockies, Diamondbacks, and Orioles have the same pride the Nationals have. Just roll over and die, please. Just make it as easy as possible. Book your trip to Cancun now. Don't have to compete that much. There's no reason to. Just relax. Season is over. We'll see you in spring training. I mean, now it's like watching the Home Run Derby. I think this is more exciting maybe than the Home Run Derby.
There was a dust up in Miami as well. Again,
that's another ass kicking too. Braves up 9-1 on the Fish. I'm glad to see the Braves finally decided to turn it around at the point of no return.
Matt Olson hit a home run, and then Ronald Acuna Jr. got thrown at, so benches cleared. Again, if no one was there to see it, did it really happen?
Who throws at somebody between 2 teams that are awful?
In front of nobody.
Yeah, nobody's there. You didn't get any drama.
It's a pandemic crowd.
They could have played that game at a park.
It is a pandemic era crowd in Miami.
That's a pretty full house pandemic era crowd for them.
And all of them are Braves fans.
Yep. Miami 62-70 on the year. Atlanta 60-72. Hey man, this is important for the Braves. Can't finish behind the Fish, man, in the standings. Anyway, to go back to Padres baseball, this hour on 97 through the Fan is brought to you by U.S. Wellness Meats. Overwhelmed by processed foods, U.S. Wellness Meats offers an all-natural alternative, 100% grass-fed beef, pork, poultry, wild-caught seafood, and more. Ship free from family farms. Get 20% off your first order at uswellnessmeats.com. All right. Here are the games that you have to pay attention to. Last night, the Metropolitans beat the Phillies. By the way, the Mets beat the Phillies last night, and the Phillies starting to collapse a little bit in the division should have your attention more than the Yankees beating up on the Nationals.
Oh, well, the Yankees beating up on the Nationals is happening right at this moment.
I'm just saying.
I have to wait another couple hours for the Mets and Phillies.
What happened in last night's Mets and Phillies game, by the way?
Pete Alonso went 4 for 5. I think that's really the only thing that matters.
What was the controversy of like something that was there for, what were you talking about?
Oh,
Woods?
It was Jesus Luzardo got ejected by the home plate umpire as he was getting taken out of the game.
What a waste of an ejection, by the way.
Luzardo got mad at Juan Soto for calling a timeout.
What did he call a timeout
his hitter's
for?
timeout.
Just using a hitter's timeout.
Yeah, just using his hitter timeout. He got mad at the home plate umpire for granting the timeout, even though Luzardo was nowhere near ready to pitch, and then yelled at the umpire over it as he was getting taken out of the game and got ejected after he was already out of the game.
Getting ejected as you leave the game is wild. By the way, what a waste of an ejection. You're just making that guy's day. He's got to go inside the clubhouse and hang out and eat and take a shower and stuff. Doesn't have to sit in the dugout anymore. It's actually probably punishment to not throw that guy out.
Yeah.
No, you got to stay in the dugout. You got to watch this. Phillies, man. 5-game lead now.
5-game lead.
Hey.
5 games left to play. Unfortunately, 4 of them are in Philadelphia.
Then you get to play him 5 more times. That's fun.
5 games back with 5 games to go.
The Mets have more games than that, to clarify to other people.
5 games to go
left
against the Phillies.
Philadelphia.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be a great collapse. That would be some Mets stuff, right?
Yeah,
there.
It would be
very Mets.
It would be on par with the 2007 Mets, 100%.
Okay. In terms of the wild card, Padres have a comfortable lead over the Metropolitans, a 3.5-game lead. They currently have the tiebreaker if the season ends today, which it doesn't. And the Padres still have to play the Mets 3 more times. 1 win against the Mets, and you will solidify the tiebreaker over the Metropolitans. You'll play them later on in September. In New York, that's one of the games you got to pay attention for. Also, Padres are trying to track down Philly potentially if they do end up winning the division. Philadelphia currently has the number 2 seed, even though they're worse than the Cubs, but the Cubs, unfortunately, are in the same division as the Brewers, so they're kind of SOL. The Padres are now a game and a half behind Philadelphia. So they gained a game on Philly, which is great. They kept their pace of the Mets, which is great. They also gained a game on the Cubs last night, which is honestly more important right now until you get the division lead, so you can have the number 4 seed in the wild card, which as of right now would be, instead of flying to Chicago to play the Cubs, you would be able to host the Cubs for a 3-game series, best of 3-game series. Cubs lose last night to San Francisco 5-2. The Padres are, what are they? They're the same amount of games behind. They're a game and a half behind Chicago. So another game that was important last night, same thing again today. Reds and Dodgers. Dodgers beat up the Reds last night 6-3. They will continue their series again this afternoon. Obviously, the Padres are big Reds fans. I think the Reds are done now.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say the Reds are done?
We never really.
I didn't think they were going to.
We never really thought they were
going
to be an issue, but yeah, no, they're definitely not.
And their schedule's like the hardest in Major League Baseball to finish the season, and it's not getting any easier. It's not going to get any easier.
Nope.
They still got to play the Padres again. But right now, so the Reds, who have really struggled in August because of the schedule that they've had. I mean, this is what they had since in the month of August. They took 2 out of 3 from Chicago, which was nice for them. And then they split with Pittsburgh, which you couldn't do. They did beat the Phillies 2 out of 3, get on a little bit of a roll. Lost 2 out of 3 to Milwaukee, beat up on the Angels 2 out of 3. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks, have lost the first 2 games against LA. They got St. Louis at home when they returned from LA, then Toronto, and then they got the Mets, the Padres, Oaklamento, St. Louis, Cubs, Pirates, Brewers to finish the season. They're 3.5 games out of a playoff spot. I think they will probably continue to plummet. In terms of help for the Padres, the Reds do get to play the Mets, and they do get to play the Cubs again. Padres aren't going to be able to catch the Brewers, and they have to catch LA first anyway, so that's not really going to matter. But I think it's safe to say the Reds are not going to make the playoffs. According to the playoffstatus.com that we have been going off of, and I'll get to like the Padres what-if thing again, but as of right now, the Reds have an 82% chance of not making the postseason. And they don't control their own destiny for anything. Mets currently have a 77% chance of making the postseason, and they're the final team in right now. Padres, Cubs, Dodgers, Phillies, and Brewers all have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. Like we said about 2 weeks ago, we said this thing was probably going to be very much cut and dry of who's in the playoffs. It was just a matter of seeding now. And with the Padres, a game behind the Dodgers in the division, and with now the Mets making things interesting in the East, you got yourself a couple of races here for the division. Now, the Cubs are still 6.5 game behind Milwaukee. I don't know if they can make that a conversation, but it would kind of be nice to see the Cubs put some pressure on Milwaukee, and then you have 3 division races in the National League, which I think is more fun than wild card races. I don't know about you.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see the division up for grabs a lot more often. You know, that's why that's what you're chasing all year long, is to go after the division. It's not, okay, we're just going to sit and we're going to take the wild card.
Games today that you're paying attention to. Most of them haven't started, and they're all the games that we just mentioned that happened last night. Same series. They're finishing up today. Phillies will take on the Mets today at 4:10 Pacific time. Is that a 3-gamer or a 4-gamer? They're done after this?
For who?
The Mets and the Phillies.
This one's 3, the next one's 4.
No getaway day time.
Nope.
Interesting. So that's coming up at 4:10. Diamondbacks Brewers at 4:40. That's not that big of a deal for Padres fans yet. Reds and Dodgers will be at 5:40 tonight. Nick Lodolo getting a start against Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani hasn't pitched very well in his last couple of outings.
No, he has not. He's gotten hit badly at the last couple outings.
So maybe the Reds can hit him around a little bit. The Reds really need a win to just stay alive. I mean, if they lose again tonight and drop to 4.5 games out of a wild card spot, you could put a fork in them. Cubs and Giants will start at 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, and I think that's all the games you need to pay attention to. Obviously, the Padres and Mariners will get underway at 1:10 coming up in just a little bit. Equator SoCal Padres pregame show will be on in just a matter of really 10 to 15 minutes with Sam Levitt. Hey, look, more home runs, Frank. Atlanta's up 11-1.
Yeah, this one, Michael Harris.
You got an 11-1 game down in Miami and an 11-0 game in the Bronx today.
In Washington. Wait,
the pitcher's hitting.
Yeah.
Ogasawara is hitting.
What happened here? Hold on.
I'd love to see him get a knock right now. Ah, got crossed up on the curveball.
That's rude to
from
throw
Max
a curveball to.
What is going on in the Bronx right now?
Their catcher got hurt.
Oh.
Their DH was their backup catcher, so they had to lose the DH.
No.
So now they have the pitcher hitting all game.
What a disaster!
What happened to the Ohtani rule? What happened to?
Well, because he wasn't.
What happened to migrating DHs,
that
guys?
guy's not the starting pitcher. That's the problem.
What happened to migrating DHs, folks?
When's the last? That guy's probably hadn't swung a bat in God knows
his
how
life.
Long. Ogasawara. I didn't even know that guy was a pitcher until today. All right, so they're going to have to, and they're going to run out of bench pieces. They got 4 guys on the bench today. They got Josh Bell, they got Paul DeYoung, they got Robert Hassel III, and they got this Lilly kid. I don't know if any of those guys have scheduled days off. I'd rather just watch their bullpen get some at bats. I mean, at this point, who cares?
They still have not gotten a hit, by the way.
When you got a bullpen pitcher swinging the stick, I can see why that would be the case. I mean, it just made it a lot easier for Max Fried. He just got through the 5th. So the Yankees have an 11-0 lead, and they have a no-hitter going, and the Nationals have a pitcher hitting today. What in the wide world of sports is going on in the Bronx?
Same thing that goes on in the Bronx all the time. Nothing good.
Nothing good. Anyway. All right. Today's lineup, we liked it today. And if you missed it earlier, we'll repeat the lineup because we have a brand new hitter in the number 2 spot, Frank. Ramon Laureano batting second today. Why? Luis Arraez does have a day off. So it's Fernando batting leadoff, followed by Ramon Laureano, Manny Machado, Ryan O'Hearn, Xander Bogaerts, Gavin Sheets, Jose Iglesias, Jake Cronenworth, Freddie Fermin. It's a pretty solid lineup. You add Jackson Merrill to that lineup, and you're pretty much close to a playoff lineup, I would imagine. I'm looking forward to seeing Laureano experiment in the 2 spot. And I know it's a Luis Arraez off day, but this could be a potential start of something for the Padres in terms of their lineup. And again, Luis Arraez has only had 2 days off the entire year. Only 2 days off the entire year. And those 2 days were post, when he was hurt on the injured list. And so you're finally getting him another day off. And I'm excited to see this lineup. I'm also excited to watch Yu Darvish pitch today. He's been pretty good in his last couple of outings. It'd be nice to see him continue this little streak, and then it really saves you in terms of thinking of postseason rotation when you are looking at what do you do with Dylan Cease. And we talked about that earlier on the show. But lineup sounds interesting. I can't wait to watch this game today and the way the lineup plays out. Sure. I also cannot wait to hear what the station identification is here on the Braden Surprenant Show.
KWFN and KWFN HD1 San Diego.
Hey, this is Mike Schill. What a play by Machado. The Padres play here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And Odyssey Sports Station.
All right. Braden Surprenant Show, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Fun talking about some Padres baseball with you guys. Frank's frantically working, but I'm going to throw him on the spot here. What do you want to see out of Darvish today?
A win.
Thanks.
No, another solid outing to be able to build off of that. I want to see him get his pitch count deeper. Only threw 74 pitches against the Dodgers over the weekend. I would like to see him get into the 80s, possibly touch around the 90s. Solid outing. I want to see him go deep. I want to see him get innings. I want to see him get his pitch count up. I want to see at least 4 or 5 hits maybe on 2 runs. Give me 3 or 4 strikeouts, a walk or 2, maybe. That's really my expectation out of you, Darvish, today.
I like to see the Padres jump on these guys early. I like to see this new lineup get into a little bit of a groove early. And I think you know what? I can see Fernando having a big day today with protection from Laureano behind him. I think that's a huge factor into Fernando Tatis and his ability. And you mentioned it on the you put it on the sheet. We didn't really talk about it too much. Fernando's starting to find something, just not often enough yet. His swing's still pretty good. Okay, he hit a home run the other night, which is great. Snapped that long streak of games without hitting a home run. He's just not getting the same pitches at the top spot as he did in previous years. And a couple of the pitches inside to Fernando has obviously affected him. But I think if he could turn things around a little bit here, I think the Padres it's almost like adding another player at the deadline.
Yeah, absolutely. He has not been the hitter that we expected him to be this year. And of course, he's got a lot of off the field stuff that's going on that, of course, is going to affect that. However, the guy hitting behind him hasn't been helping him much either, as far as protection and forcing them to try to get him out. They've been able to do whatever they want to do, throw however they want to throw to Fernando, because the guy behind him, they don't see as a threat.
There's been a lot of things about Luis Arraez. We mentioned the stats that he has had, right? And this is offensively, this is Luis Arraez's worst season. As a big leaguer, it has been his worst season. And you look at some other metrics. I mean, Luis Arraez's average bat speed by season has plummeted since 2023. Remember the conversation we had about Xander Bogaerts? And why we thought it was like, hey, it's not a problem. Bat swing speed is there. Metrics are there. Luis Arraez, bat speed is way down. Barrel per plate appearance percentage, way down. Hard hit percentage by season, way down. Average exit velocity by season, way down. Those are all the metrics that I told everybody were good for Xander and why he was going to turn it around. These are the same metrics that do not look good for Luis Arraez. I mean, these are catastrophic falls that I don't know if he's going to be able to get back to the player that he is. And if that's the case, he shouldn't be batting 2. And it's going to bring a very interesting conversation going into the offseason. That's it for us. He's Frank Marchese. I'm Braden Surprenant. Sam Levitt, the window licker, coming up next on the EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show. Hey, you know what? I don't know why he was doing that. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like